What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to be diving into Capcom. Capcom is one of my favorite gaming companies besides Nintendo, and it's mainly because of recently. So Capcom has been mainly recently supporting the Switch 2 extremely well, and we have some really good Capcom games recently, or we're about to, like around this time, and that's exciting. And all of the games that are coming out now, I have got, I will get, or I've thought about getting. So, like, surprisingly, like, every single game Capcom has made recently is, like, up my alley. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I'm very happy that Capcom is supporting the Switch 2 so well. And I didn't really even know much about Capcom until recently because I started looking in these games and I started seeing Capcom pop up with all these games I was looking at. I was like, wow, seems to be a lot of Capcom around here. So we're going to be going through, we're going to be talking about all the different games, and we're going to be talking about like how they're supporting the Switch 2, and how it's exciting. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Real quick, if while you're watching the video you seem to like it, and you like me, could you consider leaving a like? Okay, we're going to start by talking about the games, and we're going to go, and there's like 3, kind of more, you'll see, games that are coming out like right now. So if you're a Capcom fan, you should be really excited. Like, 2 came out just a little bit ago, and then 1 is coming out very soon. We're going to be starting in order of when they came out, and that would make out of these 3 kind of like 5 games. First, we're going to be starting with Resident Evil Requiem, game for the Switch 2. I love this game. I've played it. I've beat this game already. Here's the crazy part. Capcom was like, what if we just go the extra mile and decide to add Resident Evil 7, 8, and 9 to the Switch 2? Same day, same time. All 3 games just on the Switch 2. And, personally, I was not interested at all. I was just moving along. Came out. Then I started hearing people talk about these games on the Switch 2, and how they look incredible. We will get into, like, the pure, like, power and how Capcom is using the power of the Switch 2 later. But these games looked incredible. And I was like, well, they do look interesting, so I'll try them. And I decided to play them in order 9, 7, 8. Weird order, I know. Don't worry about it. Now, I have played 7, 8, and 9 because they came out on Switch 2, and I'm currently playing through 8 still. A fantastic. Like, they're just wonderful, and if you're a Resident Evil fan, oh man, you probably are happy right now, because, man, these games are amazing, you know? I'll say a little bit about them. So, 7 is you are with the Baker family, and your wife gives you a call. You head to this old house, Louisiana. You got the Baker family. Interesting group of people. Got Jack, the dad, Margarita, the mom, Lucas, the son. And they also have like a daughter. It's a whole thing. Long story short, your wife's there. She's like, can you come get me? You get into some trouble. Okay, try and go through these a little quick. Then you got Resident Evil 8, which, for me, it's the most recent one for me, because I've played them in odd order. But Resident Evil 8 is fantastic. In my opinion, I'm not done with 8, but I can already tell I am enjoying 8 more than 7, but there was a lot of like reason and like thought put into 7 and why it was what it is for the franchise of Resident Evil. Because of that, like I'm not like mad at 7 for being what it is, because I know the franchise needed it. I did very recently get into this franchise, so kind of, you know, just learning things recently now. So when I say this, I'm not trying to act like I know everything. I don't. But 7 was definitely important for the franchise from what I hear. Because of that, I'm not, like, mad at 7 for being, you know, like, not that good, or I didn't like it as much, because I do know it was needed, but 7 went, like, so hard into, like, the deep roots of survival horror that I was just like, oh, neat. You know, because personally, I prefer, like, a little bit more action, a little bit more interesting stuff, which I think 8 does really well. And I'm going to try and go through 8 pretty fast. I actually plan to make a whole video on 8, so plans do change, but that plan is still in place. So you might, if you want to hear me talk about 8 more, you should watch that video if it comes out. Okay, so 8, and also, like, 8, you play as Ethan Winters, and you also play as Ethan Winters in 7. Ethan, and he has a wife, he has a kid, wife dies immediately, and you're like, why? Child's taken. You're like, why? So you go kind of investigate that, you kind of find out where your child is. Your child's in, like, these different pieces, you gotta put it together. It's a rich roll. A little bit weird, I know, but it's really cool because you like go through different like sections of the game. It's like split into 4 sections, and like each section's like owned by a different lord of the area. Very interesting, very neat in my opinion. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And real fast, the different lords are the first one, Lady Demetrius. Saying her name wrong, I know, but close enough. Lady Demetrius. She's awesome. Like she's one of my favorites. She gets a little bit of weird intention online, but besides that, she's still, like, just an awesome character. She has 3 daughters, which are also in that weird stuff online. But, again, just if you look besides that, they're really cool characters, and they have a cool castle, and that was, like, my favorite section of the game, which is actually common for Resident Evil games, apparently, that's why here, where, like, the first section is apparently better than the end section. I didn't have that problem with 9 and 7, but when I played 8, I was like, wow, the first section was so much better. Oh, well, you move on to this doll lady. That section's really short. We're not going to talk about it. Point is, it's a puzzle room. Just one puzzle room. You also move on to this weird goo lady, who, like, or guy, I guess. He's just kind of like a goo, kind of bad posture. Not much to say about him. But he, like, one's is, like, inside the mouth of a big fish. That's neat. Then this guy, his name's... I don't remember his name, but he's really cool. He has a hammer, and he's like a steampunk with a hammer. Really cool guy. I like him. So, yeah, he's really cool. And I like him. Sorry, repeating myself. But, point is, he's really cool. And I like him. I've said it 3 times. Wow. Don't know why I keep doing that. Oh, well. And, yeah, he is in a cool place. And I am, like, just kind of finished that area. Sort of. I was kind of sitting back to the beginning because something happened. So I don't know if I'm done with that section or not. I don't know. But that's kind of the premise. You basically go through the 4 areas, find the pieces of your child, try and bring her back. A little bit weird, but it makes more sense if you play the game. Moving on to number 9, the new game. The game that just came out. The other 2 just came out on Switch. This game just came out everywhere, and you're probably most excited for this. Requiem is amazing, fantastic game. And you play as Grace, Leon, first part, mainly Grace, second part, mainly Leon. Leon is very action-focused. You basically kick zombies, flips, kick down doors, slamming your hatchet through their skulls, driving a motorcycle up a fallen down building, go 8 feet into the air, and then land, and then proceed to shoot zombie dogs while riding your motorcycle. Leon is awesome. I prefer him more than Grace. You got Grace over here. She's scared, and you struggle, and it's harder in that section, and you gotta conserve your ammo. Yeah, that's 9. We're just trying to get through that one. I do really enjoy the game. I enjoyed 9 more than 7. Personally, I preferred 8 and 7 and 9. I preferred 8 and 9 more than 7. Most people disagree with me because they're like 7's the best because it brought the series back to the roots. Personally, I prefer more action, which 8 and 9 offered. Okay, so that's the Resident Evil games that just came out. I've been ranting a lot about Resident Evil on my channel. Hope you don't mind me to continue to rant about it because I enjoy ranting about it. And I will continue to rant about it. Like I said, I plan to make another video on Resident Evil. Point is, yeah, that's like the whole Resident Evil situation. Also, I recommend those games. Like I said, I played them. Now we are moving on to Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflections. Now, I must confess, this is the only game on this list that I have not played that has come out. But, I did highly consider it. I know that doesn't mean anything. I know you don't care that I've highly considered it. But, I've played Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is a Capcom game. And I'm just letting you know, that's kind of my relationship with Stories 3. Okay, let's get into Stories 3. Stories 3 is a turn-based, like, monster game. And it's basically like Monster Hunter games, except with actually a good story. Because that's usually the problem that Monster Hunter games suffer mostly from. And it has lots of appealing characters, stuff like that. Like I said, since I haven't played this game, you know, and it's been out, I haven't gotten it, means I haven't done, as like, my knowledge about this game is kind of little, but I gotta mention it, kind of the point of the video, so, I mean, it looks like a really good game, looks high quality, looks like awesome, honestly. The only reason I haven't gotten is because I'm worried it'll be too difficult. So, fair warning, if you're considering this game, it is known to be pretty difficult. Stories 2 is definitely difficult. So, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflections, that is the sitch on the game, came out real recently, so you're not, you know, missing much if you get into it now. Highly recommend because I've played Stories 2, and this game just looks like that, but better. So, I recommend this game, even though I haven't played it. Now, moving on to the only game on this list that isn't out yet, and that is Pragmata. I am very excited for this game. Like, I am stoked. Most of the time, if I can, I'll mention it in a video, so you may have heard me mention it before, but I do very much love the idea of Pragmata. I think it is cool. So basically, you're on this moon base. It's being taken over by AI, and you have to escape. You find this robotic AI girl that can hack the evil robots trying to kill you. So basically, if you want to hurt the robots, you have to use the girl's hacking abilities to hack them, open up their weak spots, and then shoot them. Yeah, that's basically the whole premise. I really enjoyed the demo they came out with, and it doesn't really spoil anything, which is nice, and you can't really get burnt out of the game with it unless you played it some weirdly large amount. But yeah, so point is, it's amazing. I loved it. Had a good time. Had a good time. Had a good time. I don't know why I said had a good time 3 times, but now it's 4. So, Pragmata. Yeah, I'm excited. It looks really cool. It was announced at Game of the Year. Highly recommend, sorta. I don't know, it's weird to recommend a game that isn't out yet, but I recommend trying the demo, because I played that. Comes out on most consoles. I mean, yeah, it feels kind of weird, because I feel like I haven't spent much time on Pragmata or Monster Hunter Stories 3, but I spent so much time on Resident Evil. But also, I've been playing Resident Evil, and it's on my mind a lot more. So, yeah. So those are the games that have been coming out recently. Either are out or will be out very soon. Pragmata comes out in April, so you don't have to wait long. I'm excited for it. I want to get into, like, how Capcom is helping, you know, like, they just really want to put their games on the Switch too. And I want to talk about, like, the specific things they're doing that really shows that Capcom is being a big supporter and not just, you know, a big company wanting to put their games out. So, first off, Capcom is using the Switch 2's power to an insanely large amount, and you will have to take my word for it, but it is basically a fact that Resident Evil 7, 8, and 9 are the best looking games, mainly 9. So, mainly 9 is the best looking game on the Switch 2. It is just the best one. Best looking game. Runs the best. Like, it is the best performing looking game on the Switch 2. And yeah, that's just true. Long story short, Switch 2 is this little thing called AI upscaling, where, oh, no, it's AI. Doesn't matter, because it works sometimes. So, some games actually kind of fail, but Capcom has mastered this somehow. Long story short, this little thing called AI upscaling works really well when Capcom uses it, because they're good at it. And they use this little thing that makes the game look like it is running at native 4K, when it's running at a native, like, 500 thing. Man, that sounds cheesy. Point is, Capcom really is using this thing called AI upscaling. That is Nintendo's, but if you're playing your game on Nintendo's console, you can use it. That's kind of like the thing. And I've talked all about this in, like, my power of the Switch 2 video, but, like, this is good. And Capcom is just making their games look fantastic. Like, their games run incredibly. And now, like, I want to mention Amiibo. Every single game that I've mentioned in this video and other Capcom games use Amiibo. Every single one for Switch 2. Resident Evil, Amiibo. Got Leon Grace Amiibo. Not 7 and 8, just 9. And Monster Hunter Stories 3, got Amiibo. Lots of it. Street Fighter, which I didn't mention in this video, but am pointing it out, also got Amiibo. And that was a release title for the game, which I didn't mention because I wanted to focus on, like, more what's happening with Capcom, right, like, in this era, or these months. But yes, Capcom has been helping the Switch 2 for a while now. Literally, one of the big third-party launch games for the console was Street Fighter, which is a Capcom game, and it had Amiibo. And, like, most games, third-party-wise, aren't really using Amiibo. I think Capcom just enjoys it, because even Pragmata, getting Amiibo, every single game that they make is just Amiibo, Amiibo, Amiibo. I don't know, I think it's fun. I mean, I don't have the Resident Evil Amiibo yet. I would like to get those, so if I do, maybe I'll show them in a video or something. Point is, though, Capcom is just generally really helping the Switch 2, and I hope that people realize that. So, if you've enjoyed this video, remember, leave a like and subscribe. Peace out, everyone.